Good morning, welcome to the lecture series of operating systems. In today's class we try to discuss about the logical versus physical address space, and we are also discussing about the memory management unit. First we try to discuss about the logical versus physical address space. Already we know that what is the logical address. Actually the address is generated by the processor is considered as a logical address. That is what is the next instruction to be executed, or what is the location we need to fetch the data. Those are represented as the logical address. From that logical address, where actually the instruction of the data is available in the primary memory, that one is represented as the physical address. First we try to discuss the first we try to understand the definitions are given for the logical as well as the physical address space. The concept of logical address space that is bound to a separate physical address space is central to proper memory management. So I think already the unit is the memory management, and here our requirement is actually the processor generates the logical address, and once the logical address is generated, how the system is able to identify the physical address, that is where the actual instructions or the data is available. If it is unable to identify the physical address properly, it is not possible to get the accurate results. So automatically there is some the incorrect results are able to get. To overcome that one, once the processor generates the logical address, it needs in the memory management effectively identify its physical address, then it is possible to get the correct information, and it is able to done the modifications of the data properly. So here we try to understand what is the logical address and what is the physical address. The logical address is generated by the CPU. That is nothing but at the time of the execution of the instruction by instruction, the logical address is simply represented from the beginning of the program for the instruction of the data, for which location the instruction of the data is available. That is identified by the processor is called as a logical address. And the logical address is also be referred as the virtual address. That is nothing but the virtual address is nothing but the system is able, the processor is able to understand that from the beginning of the program, the instruction is available in the 100th location or the 150th location, or the data is available in the 250th location. So that address is a logically it is representing, but actually it is not the where the actually the data or the instructions are available in the physical memory. The logical address is nothing but the address is generated by the processor, and it is also be called as the CPU, and the logical address is also be called as the virtual address. And the next one is the physical address. The name itself indicates that the address is seen by the memory unit. Why the memory unit? Because the memory unit is handled to store the data in the memory or to retrieve the data or the instructions from the memory. That is handled by the memory unit. For that reason, where actually the instructions and the data is available in the primary memory, it is called as the physical address. So I hope you clearly understand the logical address is nothing but the address is generated by the processor. The logical address is also be called as the virtual address. Generally the logical address is nothing but we are specifying the address of the particular instruction or the data from the reference to the beginning of the particular program. For example, a particular process, a memory is allocated from 1000 location onwards. So for example 1005 location, the logical address is represented as 5, but actually the physical address is represented as the 1005 as the physical address of the particular process. Now we try to discuss about the logical and physical addresses are the same in compile time and load time addresses. That is nothing but at the time of the compile time and the load time, those are the logical address and the physical addresses are the same, because at that compile time we are using the same addresses we are able to represent. Load time but the logical and the physical addresses are different in execution time and the binding time. That is nothing but at the time of the execution time, the logical and the physical addresses are different. I hope you try to understand this one. They clearly explain that whenever we consider about the compilation time, the logical address and the physical addresses are the same, because at the time of the compilation we doesn't know where actually the instruction is loaded, because at the time of the execution only it is loaded into the primary memory. For that reason the logical address or the physical addresses are the same at the time of the compilation time, but whenever at the time of the execution time the logical address is different and the physical address is the different. And the next is the logical address space is the set of all logical addresses generated by the program. That is, at the time of the program execution, what are the possible addresses are generated by the processor, by the program. That is, the processor is able to understand what is the next location, what is the next 100th instruction or the 150th instruction. Those are simply considered as the logical addresses. And the physical address space is nothing but the set of all physical addresses are generated by the program at the time of the execution. That is nothing but the where actually the instructions or the data is available at the time of the execution. Those are represented as the physical addresses. So I hope you clearly understand what is the difference, what is the logical address and what is the physical address. The logical address is also be called as the virtual address. That is nothing but they are able to give that based on the beginning of the particular process. What is the instruction of the data address is represented as the logical address, and physical address is nothing but where the actually the instructions of the data are available in the primary memory. Those are represented as the physical addresses. Now we try to discuss about the memory management unit. It is also be called as the MMU, memory management unit. The name itself indicates that it manages the primary memory. That is nothing but once the processor generated a particular instruction, the memory management unit based on the logical address, it identifies the physical address of the particular instruction or the data. Then it is able to perform the fetch or the, for example, if the data need to be written in a particular location, it identifies the physical address in that location the data to be written, or it need to fetch the data or the fetch the instruction in a particular location based on the logical address. It identifies the physical address and able to fetch the instruction or the data from the physical memory. So that entire task is done by the memory management unit. So here we try to discuss hardware devices that at runtime maps a virtual to physical addresses. I hope already we know that what is a virtual address. What is the virtual address? It is nothing but the logical address. That is nothing but the based on the beginning of the program. What is the instruction? For example, you are assuming that first instruction is location 0, second instruction address is 4, third instruction address is 8, and so on. Based on that one beginning of the program, what is the instruction address that is represented as the logical address? It is also be called as the virtual address, and where actually these instructions are available, or instructions or the data is available in the primary memory, that is represented as the physical addresses. So automatically the memory management unit, it is nothing but the hardware device. It simply maps the virtual address to the, or the logical address to the physical address. And here the consider simple, there are a number of schemes are available. That is nothing but the based on the approach we are following. For example, the memory management unit, the functionality changes approach. For example, we are using the segmentation, it follows the segmentation table. Or we are using the paging technique, it simply uses the page table. Or the demand paging technique, in all those they are using the page table. Or simple implementation, that is the entire process is loaded into the contiguous memory location. Based on that one, for example, the entire process is stored into the contiguous memory location, it simply holds the base register, and based on the base register is simply added to the logical address to get the physical address. So the simplest method is, we are assuming that the entire program is stored into the contiguous memory location. And once we are able to store the starting address of the particular process, then we are adding the logical address to the starting address of the particular process, then we are able to get the physical address. For that reason, here clearly explain that the simple scheme where the value in the relocation register, what is the value of the relocation register? It simply holds the starting address of the particular process, is added to the every address generated by the user process. What is the address generated by the user process? That is nothing but the logical address, or it is also be called as the virtual address, is added to the relocation register. Then automatically we are able to get the physical address. That is one of the simple scheme. When this scheme is helpful, we are assuming that the entire process, that is entire program and its related data, is stored into the contiguous memory location, and the relocation register holds the starting address of the particular process. Once the program execution, the process generates the logical address. That is, the logical address is representing from the starting of the program the instruction or data. What is the address is existing? That is nothing but the virtual address or the logical address is generated. The virtual address or the logical address is added to the starting of the program. That is nothing but the relocation register. Then we are able to get the physical address. So this is one of the simple scheme. It is easy to implement, but there are some limitations are existing. We will discuss what is the disadvantages or the limitations of the continuous memory allocation in the next slides. So here we are using the relocation register. Which value is stored? The register, the base register now called as the relocation register. Already in the previous class we discussed about the base register and the limit register. What is the base register? The base register holds the starting address of the particular process. Limit register holds the what is the memory is allocated to the particular process. So based on the base register we are able to calculate the physical address based on the logical address, and based on the limit register the process is allowed to access only the memory is allocated to the particular process. It is not allowed to access other memory locations. That is, the memory locations are not allocated to this one. This process is not allowed. To provide the protection we are using the limit register. Already we discussed about the base register and limit register in the previous class. Whatever the base register we discussed, the same is now called as the relocation register, and once the relocation register and the logical address is added to the value is existing on the relocation register, then we are able to get the physical address from the logical address or the virtual address. That is, once we have the virtual address, it is very easy to find the physical address. We simply add the virtual address value to the relocation register value or the base register value. Now we try to discuss about the user program deals with the logical address. It never sees the real physical address. That is, user process never generate the physical address. Every time they generate the virtual address, it is also be called as the logical address. And memory management unit, that logical address is converted to the physical address. Either it want to store the data or it want to fetch the instruction or the fetch the data from the memory. The memory management unit is converted from the logical address to the or the virtual address to the physical address. Execution time binding occurs when reference is made to the relocation in the memory. So automatically at the time of the execution, automatically the relocation register or the base register holds the what is the starting address of the particular process. That information is loaded, and the logical address bound to the physical addresses. So that is, every time the processor generates the logical address, from that logical address they simply calculate the physical address is calculated. I hope you clearly understand this one. And next one is dynamic relocation using a relocation register. So already we know that what is the relocation register. For example, we are assuming that a process is moved from one memory location to the another one. Then automatically we change the relocation register value. Automatically it is possible to calculate the dynamic address, that is nothing but where the physical address is existing on the particular process. Here they clearly explain that no special support from the operating system is required. To achieve the dynamic relocation operation, there is no special support from the operating system is required. Only simply using we are simply adding the logical address to the relocation register, then we are able to get the physical address from the logical addresses. And another one is implemented through the program design, and OS can help by providing libraries to implement the dynamic loading operation. So automatically the library is simply provided to dynamic loading operation is also be supported. So now we try to discuss about here they simply explain about the diagram clearly explained. For example, already we know that CPU generates the logical address. We are assuming that the logical address of the particular instruction is representing the 346. And we are assuming that our program is started in the location is the 1004. The program location is started in the 14,000 location. That is the 14,000 location onwards our process is stored, and the process needs the instruction or the data in the location of the 346. So automatically in this example the logical address is representing as the 346, and the base register or the relocation register value is the 14,000. And whenever it need to calculate the physical address, the logical address is added to the values existing on the relocation register, then it is representing as the 14,346. That is the memory location. From that memory location, the process is able to take the data or take the instruction, or it is able to perform the modification on the memory location. The modification of the data is done. That is, it is possible to perform the write operation on the data, or it is possible to take in the logical address 346 location, it is fetch the instruction or fetch the data from the memory location. So this is the simple example how the logical address is converted into the physical address by the memory management unit. Here MMU is nothing but the memory management unit is simply perform the conversion operation. I hope you are able to understand how the logical address is converted to the physical address by the memory management unit. It is a simple one. CPU generated the logical address. In this example, the logical address is 346. It is added to the relocation register value, that is nothing but the program is stored into the 14,000 location, is added to the 346, that is 14,346 is the physical address. From that location, it simply fetches the instruction or the data. Now we try to discuss about here the routine is not loaded until it is called. Here they try to explain about the dynamic relocation. What is the meaning of the dynamic? For example, generally we store the entire program into the primary memory. Some cases we are not required to store the entire program. We are assuming that in the C programming we define a main function and we are defined the n number of functions. One is to calculate the factorial, and another one is to print the reverse of the given number, and another one is to calculate the 100th Fibonacci number, and another one is to calculate the nth prime number. So we defined the 1000 functions are defined. These functions are called in from the main function. So automatically we need not perform, we use all these functions at a time based on the requirement. Sometimes we may call the prime number function, sometimes we may call the Fibonacci number function, and sometimes we may call the Armstrong number or not, and sometimes we try to find the reverse of the given number. Based on the requirement only, that particular function is loaded into the primary memory. What is the advantage of that one? For example, we are assuming that each function requires the assumption is it may require the 10 KB. And we have the 1000 functions are existing, then automatically we need to load the entire program is nothing but 1000 into 10k, that is nothing but automatic 10,000, that is approximately equal to the 10 MB is allocated for the particular process. Instead of that one, whenever the particular function is routine is required, at that time only we load that one. So automatically no need to allocate the 10 MB for the particular process only some of the functions are loaded, and based on the requirement only the remaining routines are loaded. We are able to effectively utilize. So this is one of the requirement we will discuss in the segmentation concept. Similarly, the demand paging concept. In that one, based on the requirement only, those segments or those required pages are loaded into the primary memory. So automatically effective utilization of the primary memory is possible. Here they try to define routine is not loaded until it is called. Whenever we call the particular routine or the particular function, at that time only it is loaded into the primary memory. What is the advantage of that one? Effective utilization of memory. Instead of allocating the total 10 MB to the particular process, only 1 MB is allocated. Only some of the routines are loaded. Whenever it requires, at that time only a routine is loaded into the primary memory. So what is the time it takes to copy the entire process, 10 MB process from secondary memory to the primary memory? Whenever it requires, only those are loaded. If those are not called in that execution, for example, we need not run all the 100 functions at a time. Based on the requirement, sometimes we use the fact function and sometimes we are using the prime number function. Based on the requirement only those functions are loaded. So what is the time it takes to transfer the secondary memory to the primary memory will be reduced. In addition to that one, the memory allocated to the particular process is also possible to reduce. So these are the advantages of the routine is not loaded until it is called. And another one is the better memory space utilization. So we clearly understand, we are, for example, instead of allocating the total 10 MB to the particular process, based on the requirement, for example, at the particular time, it requires only the 10 functions are sufficient. Instead of the 1000 functions, only that maximum 10 or the 100 is sufficient. Only 1 MB is sufficient. No need to allocate the remaining 9 MB space. So automatically better memory space utilization is done. and unused routines is never loaded into the primary memory. This is the additional advantage if you go for the routine is not loaded until it is called. All routines kept on the disk in a relocatable load format only. So initially entire program is available in the secondary memory only. Whenever the particular routine is required, then only these routines are transferred from secondary memory to the primary memory, useful when large amounts of code are needed to handle infrequently occurring cases. So automatically those cases are not infrequent. There is no specific order based on, sometimes we are using the prime number and sometimes we are using the Fibonacci number, and based on the requirement we are calling the different functions. So automatically in that case it is provide the better utilization of the dynamic relocation using the relocation register. So this is the advantages are existing. In this slide we discussed about the how the logical address is converted to the physical address by the memory management unit is explained. In addition to that one, if we are allowing to load the routines whenever it required, then automatically there are the advantages is what is the time it requires to transfer the data from secondary memory to the primary memory is reduced. In addition to that one, effective memory management is possible because only the required memory is allocated, unnecessary allocation is not done. It is possible to load the more number of processes into the primary memory. Now we try to discuss about the dynamic linking. So here the dynamic linking is, already we discussed about what is the linking. Generally after compilation, at the time of the program we are able to call some of the library functions. Every library function is also be having the set of instructions. Those need to be replaced, then only it is possible to perform the execution. So operating system checks if a routine is in process memory address. It simply verifies that a particular function is available in the memory address or not. For example, if it is not address space, added it to the address space. That is, what is the meaning of the address space? Already the user space is actually the primary memory is divided into the two partitions. One is for the user space and another one is the operating system. In that user space only the user related processes are loaded into the primary memory, and whenever we call a routine, first it verifies that the routine is available in the user space or not. If it is not available, that is if the routine is in the process memory address space or not, if not address space, added to the address space. And another one is the dynamic linking is particularly useful for the library functions. Whenever we are using the library functions, example is that we are using the scanf or the printf. For every C programming we compulsorily use the scanf and printf. Automatically whenever we call the scanf, its related code need to be executed, and whenever we are calling the printf function, again it need related. So automatically whenever we are using the predefined function, library file functions we are using, then automatically the dynamic linking is particularly useful. And system also known about the already shared libraries, that information is available, then only the linking is possible to perform the operation. So in today's class we discussed about what is the difference between the logical address and physical address. This is the logical address versus the physical address we discussed. In addition to that one, how the memory management unit converts the logical address to the physical address with the examples we discussed. In addition to that one, instead of loading the entire program at a time, we are able to load the dynamic routine wise, we are able to load. For effective memory utilization is possible to done. And similarly we discussed about the dynamic linking, that is nothing but whenever we are using the predefined library functions and whenever we need to use, automatically the linking must be done, that is its related code must be loaded into the user space, then only it is possible to perform the execution. That is done by the operating system. User need not perform the linking operation, it is done by the operating system itself. In the next class we will discuss the remaining part of the memory management unit. Thank you.